How ridiculous does it sound to say all these things about the Patriots right now?
I mean, no matter who we play every week, we know that every NFL team has talent. You can never go in there and expect just to really beat someone by a lot of points. So we never try to take that perspective. Everyone's got talent. Everyone. I mean, that's how the NFL is structured. For parity, trying to make sure every game's close. So for the most part, we're just focusing on what we can focus on, and that's kind of the same thing for us every week. Just our execution, the way we run the plays is the most important. So I think we're just focused on us more than anything.
Is it jarring to think of the Patriots that way, or to think that the Patriots have been this unsuccessful so far in the season?
I mean, with Coach Belichick, he's always going to have those guys ready to play. So, obviously a team's going to be different if they don't have Tom Brady. You can never make those comparisons. But, I mean, they're a well-coached team. You never know what you're going to get, especially an in-division opponent on the road. It's always going to be a tough game. So, again, I think it's just focused on our stuff, our execution.
Sean talked today about wanting to define roles, or maybe needing to define roles in this offense. Are you maybe behind schedule from where you'd want to be in that part of the offense at this point in the year?
Well, I think the thing about the tight end position is you want to do everything you can to help the team win, whether it's blocking 60 plays or catching 10 balls a game. So it's one of those things where if we're winning games by 28, I feel like I'm great if I have one catch. But definitely want to be more involved, though, in the passing game. Just knowing my abilities, knowing what I can do. Hopefully, there'll be games where I can contribute more directly instead of just in the blocking stuff and in the checkdowns. Being able to get more down the field stuff. I think just the more we can do to add versatility, the better off we're going to be. So, when it rains, it pours. That's kind of, it was a slow start for me personally last year, but again, I think it's just anything I can do to help the team win.
How much? Go ahead.
The two deep that you're seeing a lot. What is that taking away from you in Dalton in terms of running down the seams or deep crossers?
Yeah, we see a lot of teams that are rolling safeties to Steph. Hey, Vaughn. A lot of teams are rolling to Steph, bracketing him, doubling him. So, in a way, that can open up the field for us. But yeah, when teams are running, too high safeties, it's kind of just asking you to run the ball too. So I think having that threat of the run there, making teams get into that post-high safety look so you can air the ball out a little bit. But we do see a lot of teams over-adjust to Steph because, he deserves that type of attention.
There's a lot of talk the last couple of games about not getting into a rhythm offensively. I mean, how do you – getting into a rhythm to me seems like you just have to succeed. Is there a difference to be made that if you can convert one third down, it's easier to get the next one in terms of speaking to why that rhythm part matters?
Yeah, we talked a little bit today just about getting that first down. If you look at our games in recent history, when we get that first down, we're rolling. So, it just comes down to our execution, staying in the green we talk about a lot. So not getting behind the sticks, not having negative plays, but just staying on track, executing properly. I think that first down of any drive is huge.
What's the balance of knowing it's week 7, but there is urgency because every week it's a tough task and division's tough, conference is tough, and knowing that you kind of have to write it quickly while understanding it's not the end of the line here?
Yeah, I think it's honestly a very similar mentality that we take all season. It's just this is the most important game because it's the next one. Obviously, division opponents add a little extra meaning to the game, but we're not looking into playoff seeding or division standings right now. We're just worried about beating the Patriots, focusing on this game, and even just focusing on today and what we can do to prepare well for them.
The thought of using more 12 personnel this year maybe was to help the run game, but you guys have actually been more efficient passing the ball out of 12 personnel. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think just having those two tight ends in there, the threat of run is even a little bit higher, so teams have to respect that. And being able to run the ball out of 12 personnel creates that room for the passing game out of 12 personnel. And anytime you got a weapon like Dalton out there, obviously the defense has to honor that too. So it's always fun being out there with him, with Steph, with Gabe. Sometimes defenses will put me in one-on-one types of matchups to where I can really, get open. So I think it's definitely stuff we'll continue to use, continue to change it up. But Coach Dorsey's done awesome with that so far.
Is the clarity of role, I know as a tight end you have all the roles essentially,
yeah.
But is the clarity of role, how much of a difference can that make when you understand maybe not only what you do well, but maybe what this offense does well, and leaning into those things once you figure them out? How much does that make a difference?
Yeah. We talk about just knowing your role, doing your 1/11th, doing your job on every given play. And that's kind of the fun part about being a tight end. You're pass blocking, you're run blocking, you're running routes, you're blocking, then releasing and catching balls. So I think just that versatile role is fun, but also just knowing that each play, your role can change a lot. So just being honed into the game plan, knowing how we got to execute each play, I think that's the most important thing for us.
I know you guys talk about wanting to score on every drive, Josh, and you guys have said that's the expectation. How frustrating is it? It's such a high, lofty goal and expectation. It's almost not attainable 99% of the time. To balance that out with not being frustrated when there's a couple of punts early on in the game, to not let those pile up. You talked about how the good things can pile up in momentum-wise, but not allowing the momentum to swing the opposite way.
Yeah, I think that's just the nature of the NFL. There's ups and downs. We just try not to ride that roller coaster of the highs and lows. When things are going really well, we can't get too ahead of ourselves and too excited. But, if we have a 3 and out or a turnover, we can't be sulking and, down in the dumps just moping around, or it's just going to affect the whole game. So having a short memory, staying consistent, just staying level-headed, I think is huge for that.